Welcome everyone, this is the All In FPL show. We are back to give you the best advice in the business, some might say. As ever, I am joined by my two partners in crime, Alex Doyle and Joshua Wooldridge. First of all, how are you, Doyle?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Ready for another exciting week after your unbelievable exertions last week. Couldn't believe it with your points total.
Feels like a long time ago now. It's much nice when you had a good week and you record on the Monday, so you're still fresh off that victory. Whereas now it feels like a while ago.
I bet you would have done this show on Sunday night if you could, couldn't you, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I was with Josh on Sunday night and I was just laughing at his face the entire time. It was great.
Celebrating, yeah.
Yeah, as Haaland got his third return and Josh. Yeah,
even sweeter as Josh don't own Haaland, unbelievably.
Yeah, I'm glad he got his haul on the week that no one except Doyle captained. That was absolutely fantastic and went perfectly as planned. So yeah, I'm good. By the way, JB, we'll skip that bit. All right, we'll skip.
Well, no, I'll introduce you. I'll introduce the money, man. Come on,
get away with it.
Everyone loves it. At least let me put my drop in so I can get the money drop in. It's the richest man on the planet, Joshua Wooldridge. How are you, Josh?
Oh, I'm wonderful, thank you, mate.
Even not only in Haaland, you're still wonderful, yeah?
The gap in between the game week has done me wonders and done the opposite for Doyle. So yeah, it's I am feeling amazing right now.
Ready and raring to go for the new weekend.
Exactly. Yeah. I've forgotten about. I mean, we've had another NFL failure in the past.
But nearly success, right? Nearly success. I heard you was nearly off to Bermuda or something, spending your millions.
We thought we had the lot at one point early in the late slate. We thought we had the lot, and then we had nothing.
Doyle was thinking about a takeover bid for Everton, apparently, with like the money on offer he was going to win and stuff like that.
But trust me, yeah, go on, Doyle. Yeah, this week is our week. Trust me, in all the games, every single game.
Well, yeah, we'll see about that. So today, what have we got coming up? Josh, you've been pushing this for the last couple of weeks. You said that the all-in faithful need to know about this. It's a really important topic, crucial. Explain what we're going to be talking about today.
They're going to go absolutely wild for this. Doyle, you do the intro and then I'll talk about the thing.
Josh was mid mouthful of food, so maybe not the best time. But so we're going to spend pretty much the entire time this week looking at last week's scores, really going in depth on that, because I think everyone knows that the most important season of the week is game week 10. If you're not done well on game week 10, season, waste of time. Then we'll briefly touch on some other topics, maybe, if we get the time. So the captaincy is going to be the discussion point for today, the hot topic, as you call it, where we're going to look at the best captaincy options for the next 5 weeks, I believe. Might not be interested for that, Josh. But, and we're going to just finish with a game week preview as per usual. So quick, short, snappy one today. Keep it within 45 minutes. Yeah.
Let's go. So as we always do, we start at the bottom. So that'll be you, JB. That was definitely you this week.
Just about. Even though I was cussing you about Haaland, I was still
5 points below at least. Yeah, with the hit, we're not discounting hits anymore.
Do you know what? You're right there. I did take a hit. So, yeah, I had a lot of options open to me last week. If anyone remembers me talking through my team, didn't have Salah, and I thought I owned him all season, got rid of him on wildcard. He'd scored 4 goals in 2 games to punish me. And sometimes I think you just got to take your own medicine, accept that sometimes you make mistakes, not be too stubborn and let it get out of control. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get him back in my team. They got Luton and some great fixtures coming up. Nottingham Forest they had as well. I had to get him back. I took a -4 to do it. And with that, I brought in Palmer as well. And Oscilla, Josh's pick from the pre-season, on the bench. 4.3. I had just enough money to do it. But I was happy to do it to get him back in. And to be fair, he's almost already repaid me, really, by scoring at the weekend. And I captained him. So, yeah. I had Luis Diaz as well, who bit the dust. Obviously, didn't play for unfortunate reasons. But I obviously got a little bit lucky there with him not playing. But, yeah, I was happy to bring Salah in for the -4. the team didn't do that great. It done okay. I've seen a few higher scores. Obviously, Doyle was a lot higher than me. So that's never good. But yeah, defense wasn't great. Pedro Porro, very disappointed with that. Tottenham looked really good against Crystal Palace. I thought they was on for the clean sheet. And then literally in injury time, AU looked like handball to me, but I don't think there was enough evidence to overturn it. I still think it's handball personally. But yeah, they didn't overturn it. I lost my clean sheet, and that would have been so good because Udogie went off early, so he didn't get the clean sheet. I think he went off on like 58 minutes or something.
He didn't play, mate. He didn't play.
Udogie?
Yeah, he didn't play. He wasn't in the squad. He wasn't in the team.
Thinking of the week
before. So it would have been 2 weeks where Udogie missed out on a clean sheet, which would have been very tilting.
I'm getting dementia in my old age. That's why, you see. But yeah, Trippier, another failure for me as well. 0 points. Not great at all. I think they do look like they're burning out a little bit at Newcastle where they're playing so many matches. And they're picking up a few injuries because of that as well. Now, I don't know whether it is because it's just unlucky or whether it's because of the extra games. But yeah, he got 0 points. I'm still comfortable having him going forward. I still think he's a little bit of a differential amongst a lot of the FPL community. Not everyone has him because there's so many good players. Everyone's trying to squeeze in, and a lot of people ain't paying the money for him. But we'll see how he gets on. Matt Cash done well. Come off, got the clean sheet. Ticking over nicely. Midfield, Cole Palmer played really well. I think he was unlucky not to have a return, to be honest. My big budget pick from last week, Josh, as you know. But yeah, tough fixtures going forward, but he's a cheap option and I think he could do well.
How did you end up on Palmer then?
Pardon?
He texted me. He said, I'm going to bloody get Palmer. I was like, well, he just always listens to what I say. Whenever I put someone top of a rankings, he's straight in, literally. It's unbelievable.
Well, I've got to listen to the Oracle, right? I mean, I've got to take your advice on board. You're the fancy king. No, I couldn't afford. I would rather Neto probably, who I put higher in the rankings. Obviously, I've already got Gordon, but Palmer was my third choice, but he's the only one I could afford for 5 million. Like I said, I had the exact money to get Salah.
I like your commitment to last week's segment, JB. You decided to buy 3 of them.
Yeah, I want them all.
You've got 3 budget players in your front 8, so that's phenomenal, really. I really like that. Yeah.
That's how you squeeze in Son, Salah, and Haaland. You see, Maddison and Son done well, done the business. Pleased with them. Anthony Gordon didn't return. Again, his play should be nailed, so I'm quite happy with him. And then up front, Haaland. Really good. Not many people captained him. Josh didn't even own him, so that was good. Still got some points on Josh there, 16 points. And then Ollie Watkins, surprisingly blanked against Luton. They scored a few goals, but he weren't involved. It's not the greatest week. It was okay. But yeah, move on.
It was a good week to captain Watkins this week. I think that's so unlucky for people who did that.
It was his highest XG of the season, right, I read?
Yeah, just crazy. Got a really good ownership, EO discount on some games, especially as well. Just like crazily unlucky. Yeah, Villa lost their clean sheet late as well, so I'm not letting JB. Should we move on to mine? By the way, sorry. I'm not letting JB get away with his Porro one because I had Pau Torres in exactly the same situation. Absolutely ridiculous. They conceded to Luton. That is stupid.
Did you see the goal as well?
No.
It was a shocker. It was a shocker.
Didn't it hit off a defender, then off the keeper, then into
Konsa, I think it was on the bar, on the back of Martinez, then it rolled in the net. It was, it weren't because Luton deserved the goal, really. It was a bit of a cock up at the back.
Yeah, my Pau Torres was unlucky there. I thought the RU one, by the way, it was like there was no evidence to say it was or wasn't a penalty. It was a handball. Sorry, it was like I thought it hit the chest, but like once they played the replay 20 times and they still couldn't decide, you just have to leave the on-field decision. I'm a big advocate of that. Areola did okay, 3 points. He's obviously very cheap, so that's good. He scored 2 more than my substitute goalkeeper, so I'll take the 3 points there. Tsimikas outscored Trent by 1 point, and he's 3.5 cheaper, so I'll take that as well. Cash very luckily got subbed before the calamity goal. So that was good. Pau Torres unlucky. Bruno Fernandes. Now, I benched Bruno Fernandes as has been doing the waves on social media that Josh benched Bruno Fernandes. What was he thinking? Luckily, or very unluckily, I would argue, Gabriel got benched. So I ended up getting Fernandes on anyway for his 1 pointer. Really wish Gabriel had played because that was the most obvious clean sheet of all time, I think. Salah got the luckiest goal of the season, I think, because Matt Turner decided to run out 40 yards for no reason whatsoever. Just seemed really stupid, but yeah, he got his goal. He did pre-assist both the first two goals, so I don't know if you would call him unlucky for those, but as we know, you don't get points for pre-assists, so I'm going to take the lucky line, I think, on that one. Son, Madison, I bought in Saka and captained him. Would have expected more in a 5-0, but some people were even questioning whether I deserved the one assist, so I guess I'll just take it and run. JB, you seemed particularly angry that was given as an assist.
Saka?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the ball flight, there would not the angle that you was looking at on Twitter. If you look at, I was watching Match of the Day, you see the angle from behind the goal. The ball's like curling in the bottom of the goal. It was literally going into the goal, and Ketty was in the middle of the box. Like, it was nowhere near him. It was the only reason it fell to him is because the keeper knocked it and then it fell down to him. No, it's not like an intended target. It was just.
Yeah, and Nketiah, if a player was the intended target, there's no doubt Nketiah was the intended target. He was further wide than the back post when the ball actually came in. He only got to the centre because the keeper flapped it and everyone waited around for 2 seconds while Nketiah ran round to get to the ball. But yeah,
I find it frustrating with corners, right? Because it's just a bit of a grey area. No one ever puts the ball in. The player's crossing the ball, but it's always just at an area. It's not
an area,
intended target ever. No matter, even if someone powers ahead of home, I mean, you can argue it's not the intended target, but you'd still get an assist for it. So I kind of get it. But
yeah, and Nketiah was only the only person in the area where the ball was crossed to. So I mean, he was definitely the intended target. So
I was only annoyed because you was like hamming it up on Twitter, like because you obviously had him in your team.
I've seen way worse ones than that, though. You've seen so many where it's never an assist, and it's good. This one at least was a cross, parry, goal. You know what I mean? So
it's one of those classic ones. If he's in your team, you say, "Oh, it's an assist all day long." No chance it ain't. If he ain't, then you're like, "This is the most bullshit decision I've ever seen."
And then I had Watkins, and I had Darwin Núñez, who was my big helping hand this week. I would say 10-pointer. Just was the first name on my team sheet this week, really. I absolutely loved owning him, loved having him, and yeah, he was right there from the start. So Darwin Núñez, what a player.
Never considered selling him, right, Josh?
Never considered selling him. Benching him at one point was my feeling of the day. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking with that one. Diaz getting kidnapped helped, to be fair, but yeah, Darwin Núñez forever staying in this team, in this squad.
Yeah, I was a bit tilted by that because he was going to start either way, and now people can say, "Oh, it's only because Diaz got kidnapped." But
we started a new rumor that Diaz has in fact now been kidnapped, by the way. But yeah, I think Darwin has proved me wrong. I was on the bandwagon, but I wasn't sure why I was on the bandwagon. Now I know why I'm on the bandwagon, because this guy is going to get a 30-pointer 1 week. It's going to be goal after goal after assist after everything. Doyle, over to you.
Yeah, Justice finally, an 89-point week. Big green arrow, which we love to see. Started out not too great on Friday night, not gonna lie. Just owning Madison, had up Udogie, he didn't start, obviously.
Palace. And you had the two Palace defenders, didn't you?
Yeah, two Palace defenders, but thankfully Anderson, as usual, comes in with his attacking return. He just bombs forward, that lad. He's just there in and around the box all the time, so it's no surprise really that he gets these returns. But yeah, the Anderson 3-pointer helped. Then obviously Saliba got his nice little clean sheet and bonus, justice for choosing the better defender rather than Gabriel, who is a loser and crap, so he gets benched all the time. Simikas, again, another clean sheet for the lad. Liverpool on a bit of a run now, a little bit of a clean sheet run with 2 in a row. So that was good. Salah, absolutely ridiculous return. Don't know if we touched on that already, but what on earth was the keeper doing halfway out of his miles out of his area? Very lucky for captainers, as per usual. It was an awful decision. Sterling is crap and will be being sold this week. Maddison got his return. Bruno, less said about him, the better, though better fixtures are coming up. DRB, did you touch upon the Richarlison stuff, Josh?
No, I didn't.
So, got a little bit lucky there on the DRB one. So, rumour went around on Twitter about 2 hours before that Richarlison was benched for the game. Which turned out not to be the case. But by the time that was realised, the deadline was gone, and I had decided that unfortunately I could no longer keep Mr. Richarlison, so sold him to the RB, who got a 13-pointer, which was a nice result, given Richarlison went off after 55 minutes or whatever.
The haters will say we're lucky, Doyle.
No, it's sent from God, that one, to be fair. Darwin, obviously amazing player, best pick on the game. As I've said multiple times, best pick on the game. And Haaland, obvious auto cap. Like, what are people thinking? Why would you cap a fraud like Salah? Makes no sense. Yeah, that's how you get an 89-point week, folks.
I'm quite impressed with the DRB versus Watkins swing this week of 11 points on a worse asset is pretty incredible, really. It's like, yeah, I think you'll take that.
You say worse, I say different. So, but yeah, absolute crack of a week, and let's not dwell on the past. So let's move on to the future.
I like your one Villa asset that you've got outscored the 3 that I've got: Matty Cash, Pau Torres, and Ollie Watkins. It doesn't seem fair that, but that's my final parting word on this absolute DRB nonsense that we've just seen. Is it me? Sorry, is it me?
Well, we'll move on to the next section. I get distracted. But next section, we're looking at captains. So, Josh, give the viewers a taste of what's to come.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about game weeks 11 to 15, and I think we should just look at each week individually and talk about possible captain options and then our preferred option. And it's obviously going to be quite different because I don't have Haaland, you two do, for example. So immediately we're going to have some different options / opinions there, I think. So this week, 11, are you two both going to captain Haaland? Doyle, you're an auto, right?
No, not this week. It's Darwin Núñez captain this week, obviously.
All right. So Man United away is an auto, but then when it comes to Bournemouth at home, it's
I think the Bournemouth centre backs are better than the United centre backs, to be honest with you. I don't think the Bournemouth centre backs giving him that much space.
JB, are you on Haaland this week?
Yeah, I've got Salah and Haaland, and definitely going to be one of them. I wouldn't even look elsewhere. I think you've got to go Haaland at home, Bournemouth. He's obviously had a good week this week. I wouldn't put anyone off going Salah, to be honest. I can see Liverpool winning 4-0 and Salah getting a hat-trick in that. So it's just a bit of a coin flip. But yeah, I just like Man City at home. That's all. Yeah,
this is spot on. So this week was one of the ones that I deemed a coin flip between Haaland and Salah when I was considering going without Haaland. I'm obviously going Salah this week away at Luton and just hope I get lucky with that one. We'll need to be quite lucky, I think, to outweigh the fact that people will have both. You know what I mean? I think you two have both got both, right? So yeah. This week's a bit of a coin flip. Can't really see anything else or any reason to go outside of Liverpool or Man City. So yeah, seems like a fun week ahead. Week 12, however, this could be a fun one. My immediate thought here is to go Bruno Fernandes captain.
Oh my God, he's at it again.
That's my Luton at home. It's not going to get any better than that.
I knew there was a reason for this segment.
I think
This
I'll go
is
Bruno
the point.
Fernandes
You want me to
captain.
put Bruno on the thumbnail, Bruno in, get him in now, ahead of the curve.
Like City are away at Chelsea. I think that's tough from an attacking point of view. I think Chelsea have been a bit more resolute recently. So I can see that being not great for Haaland. Liverpool have got Brentford, which seems quite good. So for the Salah loyalists, I think that might be a good one. And Arsenal have got Burnley at home. Could I tempt anyone in not Doyle in a Saka, but JB, what are you thinking for week 12?
Yeah, I think week 12, he's a fine choice against Burnley. Wouldn't mind Saka whatsoever. I think looking at Man United, yes, it's a great fixture against Luton, but even rather than Bruno, I'd still rather Salah at home to Brentford. I think any Liverpool fixture where you've got Salah at home to a team who isn't like a traditional Big Six team kind of thing, he's a great option each week. And then you got Ollie Watkins against Fulham as well, who could do quite well. But one thing that people could do, depending on rotation, obviously, but Brighton's fixtures are absolutely phenomenal for the next 6 or so games. If he was looking to bring in Mitoma, he's still so cheap. I think he's 6.5 now. He went up, he's dropped down again. And they got Sheffield United, who I think conceded the most amount of goals in the league, probably one of the worst teams we've ever seen in the Premier League. So, yeah, I really like Mitoma at home to Sheffield United as a tasty differential that week.
Doyle, are you going to be on Darwin Núñez permacap for the next 2 weeks? Is that what you're thinking?
Week 12 we're on now, sorry.
They got week 12, they got Brentford at home. City are away at Chelsea.
Yeah, so it's pretty obvious it's Bruno Fernandes that week.
Yeah, exactly. That is correct. Thank you. So we're going to have 2 Bruno Fernandes captainers out of 3. That's perfect. And JB is gonna just keep denying that Man United are going to beat Luton. So that's absolutely fine. Week 13 is a very interesting one.
Even Penny can't believe that you're captaining Bruno that week. She's jumped on my lap in protest.
She's trying to save us, yeah. Week 13 is an interesting one because City play Liverpool and it's the 12:30 game after an international break. Now, how have these dumb schedulers put this game as the 12:30 game after an international break? Like, what are they actually doing? Like, because obviously you've got all the Liverpool players again who are coming from South America, right? So Klopp's going to be moaning again. You know that's going to happen in their biggest game of the season, basically. And yeah, obviously City have got a few,
Alvarez maybe.
Edison, yeah. There's at
least it cancels each other out for the 2 teams, potentially. Not great for FPL, but in real life.
I don't think I want to captain either of those that week either. So, what are we going to do that week, JB? Would you just default to Haaland that week? Do you think, or?
It is an interesting one. Obviously, where Man City do play Liverpool, the 2 obvious choices, Haaland and Salah. It does give you a really good opportunity if you want to just take a punt somewhere else. But if I'm honest, Man City Liverpool, I could see a lot of goals in that game. I reckon I'd be saying at least 2-1, maybe more goals than that. And if there's going to be goals, you'd expect Salah and Haaland to be involved. So it's not a great looking game on paper. You always want your captain to be playing an easy team, but actually, in reality, I think it's a great game for both of them 2 players. And I'd probably go with the home team. Man City, they're a better team. They're at home, so Haaland would be a good captain. But again, I said it earlier. If you have Mitoma, they got Nottingham Forest for Brighton. If you want to be differential, other than that, there's not that many choices. So yeah, I'd probably stick with Haaland and Salah, to be honest. Despite, like I said, looking tough on paper.
I think I'll probably go Son that week. Villa have been pretty bad defensively all season, and Tottenham have looked really good going forward. So I think I'll probably go Son. Haaland seems reasonable if you've got him. I'm not interested in captaining Salah away at the Etihad.
One thing I'd say is you've got Man City and Liverpool, which is like the A game. They're both great teams. There's going to be goals, and you can captain your 2 best players, which is Haaland and Salah. And then you got Spurs and Villa, which is like the B game. 2 good teams, could be more goals, and you can captain Son or Watkins. But surely you captain the better players, right? Haaland and Salah over Son and Watkins?
I don't know. I wouldn't. If I had Haaland, I think that's a more interesting conversation.
Yeah, maybe different for you in your position.
I think that particular week, I would be debating between Haaland and a Spurs player, but when it's Salah versus Son, I think I would lean towards the home player again. So Son's good, and I think Saka might be good away at Brentford again. That's probably not the worst in this kind of week where you think that might be a bit more of a lopsided game towards Arsenal rather than anything else. You know what I mean?
How are you playing this year? Are you playing where you'd look at this week and you'd think, okay, well, a lot of players cancel each other out. You would take a punt on someone, so you could go with if you got Bowen against Burnley or someone like that, or would you still advise playing safe, or what would you do?
I think that particular week, week 13, looks like a week to me where it might be a bit split again. I think some will fancy Haaland, then there'll be some who do take the Arsenal player line, and then some will take the Spurs player line, and then the odd person will just be a Salah loyalist as well. So I think you'll get a bit of a mix that week. If I had Haaland, as I say, I would go with him that week, I think. But it's so close that, like, I think you're fine just going with someone else as well. So given that I don't have him, I'll just go against it. But yeah. Doyle, any thought for week 13? It's a tough one.
It's a very tough one. Very, very tough. I think I probably should go Haaland as it stands. I just don't see.
I think that's reasonable. Yeah.
It's a great week. Just go absolutely crazy if you did want to. If you want like that, if you got like Bowen or something like that.
That's what JB said. Yeah.
Pop off on that, but yeah, there's not a huge amount otherwise, right?
It is hard because there's no other standout fixtures, is there? Apart from because the big four are all sort of playing each other, who everyone owns. You know, Watkins, your Spurs, Son, Maddison, then your Liverpool, Man City.
And then there's some crap games as well, like Fulham, Wolves, Sheffield United, Bournemouth, who like you won't even have a player from, for example. You know what I mean? So it's like
Doyle might have Hwang Hee-chan captain. You never know.
Doyle, should we go Johnston captain that week away at Luton? We could do that with our triple defence, couldn't we? Yeah.
I'll probably have Calvert-Lewin in by then, so I'll just captain him against Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire.
Yeah, this is why I purposely didn't say Bruno captain that week. I knew I'd be laughed by both people, whereas like the week before, we can just be in it together. It's fine. Yeah. Week 14, City have Tottenham and Liverpool have Fulham. So that week for me is just an auto Salah, obviously, I think, given I don't have Haaland. But yeah, it's a better fixture, isn't it? It's just definitely a better fixture. So I can take him on that week, I think, very, very comfortably. Other notables, again, Villa have got Bournemouth away, who are rubbish. Arsenal have got Wolves at home, who've been more open this year. So that's another one. And then if someone's got Mbeumo, this is a good week to take that one, even with Luton at home. Like that's that could be a fun one as well, I think. JB, is that Salah that week?
Yeah, I think you look at it, you're obviously going to captain Salah. But one thing I would mention is, like we said earlier, we always look at these sort of games and think, oh yeah, that's it. We can't captain Haaland because he's got Spurs. But if you know, I think that game's going to be the way Spurs have been conceding goals. Man City are going to get at least a couple of goals. It's going to be 2-2, 3-1, 3-2 or something. So if you do want to be differential, don't be put off by it. I think don't just automatically think, okay, well, Liverpool got an easy fixture. You can sometimes look at the games and think if there's going to be goals in the game, that's just as good a reason to captain a player as opposed to, okay, it's an easy fixture. Because sometimes the other team, if they're good defensively, they'll shut up shop and it'd be harder for the team to break them down and score. Whereas if it's just going to be a goal fest and it's an open team like Man City playing against Spurs who like to attack and leave holes, go for it. You know, I'd never put anyone off that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's the sort of game that feels like it's going to be a 3-3 sort of vibes. So I'd be pretty open to capping there. But I think the Liverpool fixtures are too good. So Darwin Núñez will be captain. Fantastic.
Off a rest as well, though, because he won't be playing the week before. He'll be on the bench the week before. So this will be off a rest.
I don't think so. I think he'll be proven to be too crucial to the team by that point, Josh. They'll fly him expedited. They'll send him first class back to Liverpool on the first plane after the international.
I think it'll be off a rest, mate. So I do agree with you. It might be a good spot for Darwin Núñez that week. And then we got a midweek round of fixtures.
Ooh, love midweek fixtures.
Just before the week after, which is what I call Haaland week. The week after is because that's when I get him back for Luton. Because I am not going without him against Luton. I'll tell you that for absolute free.
I can't see any way in which there's an emergency you have to put out, meaning you can't get to Haaland without losing him. I can't see it.
It just doesn't even matter what the emergency is. It's like there's no way that's worth more than the Haaland thing. So it's like, yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Week 15, Arsenal have got Luton. I mean, that looks pretty good to me, I have to say. Liverpool have got Sheffield United as well. So we've got some spots covered here, I think, yeah.
No need for Arsenal then. Thank you. I was a bit concerned. I was like, am I going to have to get an Arsenal asset? But then, nope. We'll just take Darwin Núñez again.
He definitely doesn't start both of those games again. He's not fit enough. He's literally not fit enough to play twice in 3 days. So
He did it. He just did it off the back of the Europa League.
This is about a month in the future as well, so he can get up to speed a little bit by then.
He's been trying to get fit for like a year and a half. This guy has, and he's still not fit.
He'll be undroppable by then, the way Doyle's talking about now.
JB, will that be another Salah week for you?
Yeah, I think so. Sheffield United, so leaky at the back. Newcastle put 8 past them at their place. So, yeah, if you've got Salah, you're going to be playing Salah, I think. Again, if you do have Saka, good option against Luton. So either one of them two, I think, would be the prime candidates that week. And that's probably one week, despite you said Villa have got a leaky defence, I still probably would, when you've got Haaland away at Villa, definitely, I think the Salah fixture against Sheffield United trumps that for sure.
Yeah, Villa have been much better at home. I should have added that Villa away have been very, very leaky. They've never travelled well, Villa haven't, I have to say. So, yeah. They only usually concede 1 at home to the likes of Luton and West Ham, so they're pretty good at home, but away, bit more shaky. And then week 16, everyone's going to go Haaland, so I think that brings us to the end of our section on Captaincy Fantastico, or whatever you call it, Captain Marvel, Captain Fantastic, whatever it's called. That was the end anyway. So
I'm pretty happy. Off the back of that, I'm pretty happy having lots of Liverpool assets and City assets. To be honest with you, that's kind of my takeaway. The triple Liverpool is here to stay, it seems.
Oh, I haven't got any Man City assets. That's quite bad, isn't it? I've got loads of Liverpool, though. So all the eggs are in one basket, it looks like.
And also, do we know much about the Manchester City double? Because they're obviously playing in the Club World Cup. I think that's December. So
week 18, yeah. They're missing week 18.
But apparently there's a free space midweek after. So potentially it could just be added to the same game week. But if not, it could be a double somewhere down the line.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like 19 or 20 or something like that. I think
it's a long way to go. So it's not exactly as if you need to stockpile Man City just yet. And most people obviously own Haaland apart from Josh. So
yeah, this was my thinking for week 16. I was thinking, do I just go all in on Man City that week? But I think I have to just buy Haaland because of that Club World Cup thing. I don't want to thin my squad when I've gone without for so long. So I'm going to have to just get Haaland, I think, that week, yeah, just to minimise the likes of Brentford and Man City. So, yeah.
I'm glad we did that. I love looking forward to the fixtures in like December because they just come thick and fast, especially that midweek fixture as well. And so many decisions need to be made quick as well, because especially when you do get around Christmas and there's a game every couple of days, so much is changing. And I think that's a real, if you can keep dialed into FPL, that's where I generally find that I can make a lot of gains on a lot of people because you're so focused.
Because you remember the deadline more than anything.
Yeah, obviously. And people ain't got enough time to consume content. So in like your casual mini leagues kind of thing, that's where you can shoot up the ranks because your teams can change quite drastically, especially if you've got like 2 transfers in a week with the midweek games. So yeah, it's definitely a time not to check out of FPL for sure.
Exactly. So it's quite exciting now. Looking forward that much, knowing that all the captains will be different. Like I get a free week every week. So yeah.
All the fixtures on Prime as well that midweek as well. So when they do the goal rush and all that sort of stuff. So maybe a little Belushi's night on a Wednesday after work, Josh, is called for.
Yeah, I think so. I think that sounds like a good one actually for the three of us. If we won't all be in the same place forever, so let's try and make the most of it. Right, previews. Yeah, should we get to that?
Let's do it.
I'll go first. Mine's quite simple this week. So I've got the double Palace defence against Burnley, Johnston and Guehi. Happy to play those. Cash has got Forest away. Simicast has got Luton. Salah captain has also got Luton. Then Son and Maddison have got Chelsea at home. I'm sort of happy to just run those boys out. I trust Spurs, to be honest. Fernandes got Fulham away and Saka's got Newcastle away. That's probably my worst fixture of the week. And then I've got Watkins and Darwin, who I've already mentioned the fixtures, Luton and Forest. So I will be definitely rolling the transfer this week, having used 2 last week on finally selling Richarlison. So yeah, I'm really happy with the boys this week, and they've got good fixtures for the next sort of 3-4 weeks after this as well. So I'm just gonna keep trying to use one maybe unless I need to. So that's my plan, I think. Got Pau Torres first sub, who's got Forest away. So again, like that's a good first sub, I think. So yeah, on to JB.
Yeah, okay, I'll go through mine. The only thing I'd say for yours, Josh, I'd probably say Villa away at Forest. It's a better game for Villa as opposed to Palace away at Burnley, maybe. Are you not tempted for Pau Torres over Gay?
I don't know, but Burnley have just scored so few goals, and I just trust Palace defence more, to be honest, as I talked about. I think it's quite close.
It's a very close decision, really.
Yeah, I might be tempted on that, but either way, the other one will be the first sub. Whichever way I go on that one, the other one will be the first sub, and I'm happy to have whoever it is as the first sub. So, yeah. You was telling me to bench Pau Torres last week, JB, when he was Luton at home.
That was why when I saw him on your bench this week, I thought, what's he doing? He's been talking him up, and now he's benching him when they got Forest, and they should.
The late goals hurt sometimes. They really hurt. They're unforgivable.
I did think of you.
Right, JB, over to you again, mate. Sorry for the second time. Let's try again.
Yeah, mine's fairly straightforward as well. It's basically the exact same team as last week. I'm going to be captain Haaland, I think. I initially, soon as like the deadline rolls round on a Saturday, I always look at my team for next week, and instinctively, generally, I put it on and it never changes much anyway. So I think I'll go with Haaland over Salah. I'm happy with that. And yeah, it's the same team. I took a -4 last week, so I want to make sure I get 2 transfers for next week. And I can maybe sort out a couple of things because the bench is looking a bit iffy. Hopefully, Bayer's back for Burnley soon. And then I'll have my two bench players in Dan Burn and Bayer. I doubt Osula is going to get too much of a look in. Archer has been benched for Sheffield United, and Brewster don't look much better. And Osula did look good when he was playing. So I think when Osula does come back, he might get some minutes. He might be off the bench, but Sheffield United are just so pony. I'm not really interested. He's a dead player for me anyway. So there's a couple of things I could do. I could maybe downgrade Burn to someone and then upgrade Bayer and maybe 2 4.3s or 4.4. I don't know, something like that. But it's always good to have 2 3s, and so much happens that it's always good to have the ammo in the bank if you want to mix things around. So yeah, not too bad a week. I've got my 3 Spurs players against Chelsea, and like you said, I think Spurs can be trusted, and I think Chelsea can't be trusted. So Spurs at home, I think they can certainly do some damage against Chelsea there. So yeah, we'll see. How about you, Doyle?
You got some iffy fixtures this week, haven't you, JB? You're gonna be happy to stay within 20 of me this week, probably, aren't you? Looking at this.
Yeah, it's not great fixtures, but I think most people are the same, really.
I don't know if everyone's got Gordon and Cole Palmer. I mean, that would be my one thing. With they both got a slightly dodgy ones this week, haven't they? So I
see plenty of goals, Newcastle and Arsenal. I think that'd be a cracker. So Gordon to get his customary goal or assist.
That's a good game, actually. I'm looking forward to that at 5:30 on a Saturday. I've got no plans this weekend, so that feels like a good one.
Yeah, no, I think we'll be good. And to be fair, the 2 players who have got tough games, you'd say Palmer away at Tottenham for Chelsea, and you would probably say Gordon at home to Arsenal. Looking at my team, they're my 2 cheap budget players. So they're both 5 million and 5.6 or 7. So
Trippier's got a bad one this week. If you think there's goals in that game, that's not good, is it, for him? So
yeah, but Trippier always gets free bonus even if they lose 6-0, so that'd be fine. But yeah, it's my worst players, my budget picks who have got the tough games as well. So I'm not, you can't really expect too much from your £5 million players. I know Doyle said he wanted like a hat trick from his £5 million players last week.
Well, wait until you see the £5 million player I'm about to bring in. Who's going to score at least a hat trick? I'll tell you that.
Come on, Doyle. Let's see your team. What are you going to do? Talk everyone through it.
He
Cool.
can't. You're gone.
At the moment, we've got Johnston in goal, Burnley away, great fixture. Double it up with Anderson. Why not? Let's go for it. Get that clean sheet. Simicast, Luton away, easy. That's a nice 9-pointer, I think. Saliba, Newcastle away, or Udogie, Chelsea at home. Not sure on that one if Udogie's fit. Rob, I don't know actually. I think that's so difficult.
You got to go Udogie, man. You got to.
Yeah.
You're selling Sterling as well, so like you got to have a bit of conviction. You know what I mean?
Spoilers, but yes, I am selling Sterling. So we got Diaby, Forest away. Maddison, Chelsea at home. Play that. Salah, Luton away. Bruno, Fulham away. So all sounding very good at the moment. I then got Sterling at the moment, who's Tottenham away, but he will be disappearing. And then Haaland, Bournemouth for home. Darwin, captain, Luton away probably. Transfer wise, I think it's going to be Sterling to either the boring and Boomer or the exciting Wang Hee Chan.
I knew it was Wang.
Or I could do Matoma, which is probably more sensible, but Hwang is so good.
I think JB would rank Wang third out of those three, I think.
I'd rank him about 10th out of them three.
So good, though, man. Did you see his goal? He's amazing.
It was a beauty, wasn't it? It was a beautiful goal. And I was thinking of you when he scored as well after we slagged him off a bit last week and you was raving about him. And I was like, well, Doyle did call it.
He's great, man. He's so good. He's just such a good FPL asset, but it's
he is. And
I do have the money for Mbumo or Matoma though, which does seem more sensible. I'm like, what could I do with that extra 2 million if I did do that? And I'm like, not a lot, but
Neto has set up almost every goal they've scored though, and he's obviously out for the next month or so.
Yeah,
that could affect him going forward a little bit.
Or he's just more nailed.
He was going to be nailed anyway. I think now the way he scored so many goals, he's a definite starter and he's going to play the majority of minutes anyway. But Mbumo, I don't know, Mbumo. Bit lucky with the last goal. He scored a lot of penalties this year. Open goal against Chelsea in a 90th minute breakaway.
Their fixtures aren't good either. I don't like bringing him now.
Matoma would be locked in my team for Sterling if that was me. Their fixtures are superb.
Yeah, I could go back to him. He is just going to get benched every now and then. It's a problem, but
they have got a lot of injuries now, though. The injuries are mounting up, and he's obviously a crucial player today. He's their best player in their team. So he's only been benched once this season in the league. So I know they're playing in Europa, but yeah, I think Matoma's hot property in midfield.
Sounds sensible. I think I'll probably go there, to be honest with you, but we'll see. Hwang might get the better.
Hwang's in that team. I want to see Hwang on Saturday morning.
Well, you don't want to see it at 5 p.m. Saturday, mate. So they've scored the brace. It'll be the 12-pointer will be on the screen or whatever it is.
You've got to do it. Do you know who Wolves are playing at the weekend?
I do know. Obviously, I know. I wouldn't just say Hwang for any reason. Mate. He's got the worst team in the league.
Sheffield United. I mean, does it get any better than that? He's going to score a hat-trick, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, 4 of the next 6 are Sheffield United, Fulham, Forest, and Burnley.
Woo. Salah out, Hwang Chi in.
Yeah, might be time. Might be a Hwang punt, I think.
I think Vic will be downstairs soon, Josh. So I'll go and collar him about Hwang, and he's my is it brother-in-law? That's the phrase, something like that.
You probably know better than me.
I'll go and ask him what his thought. He's a Wolves fan, so season ticket holder. So I'll go and get his take.
Yeah, that could swing it, couldn't it? I reckon
that will definitely swing it. Yeah, if he's like best player ever. So.
Yeah, let's hope so. Right, I think that wraps us up, and we've actually stuck to time. So well done, everybody. YouTube, All in FPL. Please subscribe if possible. We're almost at 200 subscribers, so that would be great. Twitter is also All in FPL. Interact with us. We're happy to answer any team related questions, and I'll make sure to post our teams this week as well. We won't be sending a picture of the All in FPL table this week, We'll see how it lands over the next few weeks as to whether the graphics.
Really close to the top you'll get all season, Josh. I wouldn't get it out now. You're not getting any closer than that.
Wait till my ex Haaland week works. Oh my god, it's going to be like a 50-point gain on the whole field.
I think Josh might be 100 points behind us after this week, JB. What do you think?
At least.
Yeah, there's some captaincies flying about this week, so I'm a bit nervous this week, but we'll see. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good game week. And we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.